Hello and welcome back to Fairview Farm. It is March the 12th and I'm a little bit croaky today, but that's not going to stop me because we are going to be sorting out our grass fields. We need to get a load of slurry on them. They all need a bit of nitrogen ahead of their early growth for the year. So we're going to take the 7610 here. We're going to fill up with slurry and we're going to try and get around all of our fields today. Things are looking fairly good on the farm. Our chickens have definitely made themselves at home. There's a whole load of muck and everything around there now. And yeah, it's going along nicely. We have got to back up down the side of this building here. I've had a bit of a cleanup around the yard. We've been trimming things and sorting out the concrete and everything's going quite nicely. It's looking quite neat around here at the moment. Oh, not too close to the wall. There we go. Right. I'm gonna have to oh, actually no, I can get out that side, so we'll be fine. And we'll hook up the trailer here, our spreader, and start getting the slurry loaded up from our shed and be in a position where we can start spreading it on the fields. I'm all done, so let's get back into here and away we go. And I think what we'll do is we'll go and do the other fields first. Looking at our fuel tank, we are okay. We've got almost a full tank of fuel in the 7610. So should be good to go for a while. And we'll start on the small field first and head around there. Should work out fairly well for us. Plenty of slurry available from the cows. So this will give all of our grass a nice bump ahead of the haymaking that we're planning to do probably around May time. And as I've said, we're not going to be making bales from everything this year. Instead, we're going to be trying something new out, but it's going to require no equipment from our farm at all. And yeah, we're going to start in this field here. So let's open up the gate. Everything's looking a little bit dry. It's not been too great a winter for these fields. We have had some wet stuff. We even had some snow last month, but it's not seemed to have given the grass too much color back into it. I think that'll change next month. I think we'll get some growth next month. I could roll it and give a bit of a life into it that way. But I think putting this into it is really going to help. This will give it a little extra oomph and a little bit more growth and should make the field work a lot better for us. Trying to get into the right gears to get up this hill without wasting too much of this. Yeah, come on. Up we go. And again. There we are. Get all of this out on here, raise the nitrogen, raise the yield of this grass, and end up having a really good cut in a couple of months' time. This is one of those jobs where I'm quite pleased that we don't have anybody living too close to us. We would end up stinking them out. I mean, I'm used to the smell of the slurry, but I'm not too fond of it for the 2-3 days after we go and do this, especially considering our fields all surround the farmhouse. So we end up with a bit of a stink and needing to keep all the windows closed for a couple of days. It's not so much that I mind the smell, it's just that it gets into everything if you're not careful. It's why you keep the doors and windows firmly closed while doing this. Of all of the various ways of getting extra nutrients into your fields, this one is definitely the smelliest. Manure isn't too bad. I've experienced cow manure, obviously. I've smelt pig manure before, which isn't too bad. Turkey muck, that's pretty smelly. All of it is the smell of the countryside, and I don't mind any of it, but yeah, you get a long enough exposure to it and it can get a little bit much, especially when you're getting this close to your own house with it and trying not to get it on the walls so that it doesn't smell for long periods. At this time of year, not too bad. Everything is still fairly cool. You're not needing to have windows and things open. But if you're doing this at the height of summer, oh, that can get really bad. So one job we've had done recently on the farm is I've had the driveway resurfaced. Well, I've had the concrete looked at on the main yard after all the work that we've had done. And I've had the road resurfaced, the driveway resurfaced. I'm not 100% sold on the result. It does seem a little bit bumpy and not quite as even as I would like. So I think we're going to have to get them backed up, have a look at it, and smooth things out. It's certainly working a little bit better than the driveway was before, so I'm happier with what we've got, but I think it still needs a little bit more work. So I'll get them back over the next week or so. They're due to come back and have a look and finish things off. So we'll see if they can sort of clear up the issues that we're having with it. It is just a little bit bumpy in places. You might have seen while we were driving out here earlier that it was a little bit rougher than I would have liked. So they're going to come back. They're going to sort that out. That'll be good. It's all part of the improvements we're doing around the yard and around the farm at the moment to make it as good as we can. As I said when I started these vlogs very much are to document the improvements we're doing over the farm over this year. It is a year of investment in the farm, and as a result, we're hoping that everything we're doing here is going to be an investment and is going to be a big improvement for the farm. I turn that off there. Let's bring this round here. I want to go straight across the field here. So yeah, investing this much in the farm and getting the farm to the best place it can be. I really wanted to document that and really show the world what we're doing, because we are up here on this far top of Northern Ireland, and I just wanted to show really what we're doing and how we're doing it and where we're going with it. I am out of slurry again, so time to go back to the yard. You know, a bigger spreader would be nice on here, but we can't do a bigger spreader without a bigger tractor. It takes about 3 tanks for us to do this field, and so there's a fair amount of back and forth because of that. This corridor to fill this up isn't as bad as I suspected it might be when we were first putting this big barn in. It seems to have worked out fairly well for us. Let's go hook all of this up, and then we'll unhook it all so that we're full up, and then back out to the field for our second full load onto here, because of course we had a little bit left over from the first field. I think we're going to have to come back one more time and fill this up. But yeah, I can show you now that some of this is fairly flat. There's a couple of big holes like that one, and a couple of rough bits. So they'll come back in, they'll fix this up, and it won't be quite as bumpy of this. It feels a little bit like a farm track at the moment, whereas before it was just not quite right, really. And I prefer this. But it does need to be to smooth over a bit, and I believe that's what they're coming to do. They're just going to come and sort of finish it up and get it done. And in the meantime, we're okay driving on it. It should be absolutely fine. Oh, it's a little bit of a pull up this hill, but we're up it. And there we go. And then everything starts speeding up again, and you have to go up gears to make sure that you don't start causing an issue. But that's working well. We're up the top. We can start turning here, cut off the supply, and then bring it around and onto the next row. And yeah, this is going well. Only thing I dislike about this is that the only indicator I have as to how much I have left is when it actually just starts cutting out. And as soon as it cuts out, we have to go and refill it. And as I get to the bottom of the field, I'm expecting this to be roughly where we run out. Yeah, there we go. Running out just before the end. So one more tank might do this, possibly. I don't know. We'll see how far it goes. Another good piece of news we've got on the farm is that our chickens have started producing eggs. Now, I said at the start that they'd started to make a mess, and you can see the muck and everything that's sort of hanging around. Yeah, we've got our first eggs coming out as well. So they're producing well. I'm very, very pleased with those. We'll see how they progress. But with a rooster in there, we should get a slightly lower egg production that we can sell. But we should also get some chicks out. And once our hen house is full, we will probably remove the rooster, or we will sell some of the chicks and see if we can make a little bit of money. Chickens aren't worth a huge amount of money, so I'm not expecting to make a huge amount off them. But I think we'll need to sell some to just make some space, really, and make sure that we keep a good turnover in our chickens. I'm quite pleased. They've assimilated into the farm quite nicely, and it's like they've always been there. It's absolutely brilliant. Yep, I was right. 3 tanks is enough to do it. We got a little bit at the edges here, but it'll spread out and work its way into the soil with that. So there we are. That is this field done. What I want to do, I think, before we start the next field, is we will go and refill our tank here. Yeah, that gate's closed. I need to close this one as well. But we'll refill this tank before we start the next field, because we're going to use about 3 full tanks on the next field. We had it with this one where we were basically coming straight onto it, which is why I didn't refill before I did this one. But yeah, definitely worth refilling before we get onto our 3rd field. I think we could possibly do with a set of forks, either for the David Brown, or maybe just a set of 3-point forks for the reform. Just run over here. Yeah, I don't know whether to get a set of forks for this or a set of forks that I can put on this, just to move pallets around. Maybe actually it might be worth doing both. So getting a set of 3-point forks on this for its maneuverability, and a set of forks for the front of this, so that once we've maneuvered pallets around, we're able to get stuff done. Because we do have these pallets to pick up, and we do have the pallets of seeds to pick up in here for what we're doing each year. Although, yeah, I don't know whether just getting bags of seeds going forwards might be a good idea. I'm very unsure as to exactly how to proceed on that. It's moving stuff around and getting stuff loaded up is definitely something that's becoming more important on the farm, and as a result, I really kind of want to get into getting something that will make that job easier. This is our 3rd tank of slurry for this field, and we're probably about halfway through it, I think, overall. So we're gonna take at least 4, maybe 5 tanks to get this whole field done. Just to go show that this really is the biggest field we have on the farm. And as a result, it does take the most work every year to keep it maintained. I'm very tempted to go and get a just a small herbicide, handheld herbicide sprayer, and go and get rid of the weeds that we've got on the barley field, just to clear those up and get rid of them, because they're kind of, it almost feels like they're sitting there laughing at me at the moment, and I would very much like to clear them off and get that field properly sorted. But we'll see how it goes. I might be able to. I need to be very careful how I do that, of course. At the moment, we seem to be doing great everywhere else, though. As I covered last time, the barley in general seems to be doing pretty well. So that is going to be good to harvest later this year. This should get these grass fields up and running quite nicely, so they'll be looking a lot nicer come next month. And yeah, it will take till May really for them to fully regrow, ready for us to do a cut of hay on here. And I think that means that we have run out of slurry again, so at least one more tank on here, maybe two. We're actually a lot closer to the end of this field than I thought we were. It's definitely not going to be two tanks. It's not even going to be a full tank off here. We're looking at maybe half a tank to 2/3. Certainly not that much. It partly depends on how well the tractor handles going up this field and up this slope. We're doing, I think it's about 4 miles an hour up here. So I'm trying to control the output of the slurry to not go so fast and not to spread too much. But yeah, you kind of really want to be careful on those slopes. And then downslope, of course, you got the opposite problem. Really need to control the speed going down the slope, otherwise you just don't get enough coverage as you go downhill, as it really speeds up. So just trying to make sure that we're not going too fast down this slope, being pushed by the weight of all that slurry in this tank. But yeah, I think that's given us a fairly even spread, which is great, which means all three of our fields are done. Absolutely perfect. I'm very, very pleased with that. Getting all three of these done is going to make a big difference. Look at that. Struggling to get up this hill with the slurry that's left in this tank. I'm going to drop right down and keep going down. There we go. We've got the torque now. We can climb this hill. And yeah, I need to wash both my slurry tanker and my tractor. And I've been holding off washing the tractor until we've done the slurry. Because I know just how bad this tractor gets, how dirty this tractor gets once we've been slurry spreading with it. So it made sense to just sort of hold off until we were done. And in fact, yeah, after this, what I'm going to do is we're going to take this into the workshop and we're going to get this repaired today, because it needs just a little bit of maintenance. It's not a massive amount. Turn this off. Grab our new pressure washer. So when we rebuilt the yard, we put this pressure washer in here. Great position to sort of get everything and give us a good access to water everywhere. And it just allows us to make our tractor just that little bit cleaner. Get all the gunk out of the grill, because, oh man, does it get stuck in there. And under the wheel arches, around the back in here. That's looking better already. Tractor does show its age a bit. We've got quite a bit of paint chip and stuff. But otherwise, looking pretty good. And then we'll wash this down, because, yeah, like the tractor, slurry is something that gets everywhere if you're not careful. keeping out the cab is a big enough chore on its own. But this is looking good now. So that's our star spreader done. We'll put that away, and we'll go park this all up now and get it out of the way. And then I can go and get this tractor, well, do some maintenance on this tractor, because I don't want it conking out on us. We'll be fine for a while, I think. But yeah, if I don't do some maintenance on it soon, we are going to start having problems. I thought this was a good place to leave my Vertimix, but with trying to get this parked up here now, I'm not so sure. We've solved a lot of our maneuverability issues in the yard, but I think we still have a couple of storage issues, namely where to store that. This goes rather nicely around the back of the shed here with our flatbed trailer. Everything else is kind of nicely positioned. Let's bring this round to the side there. Miss the corner, miss the trailer, and yeah, very nicely done. Happy with that. We'll disconnect that. And let's go get this into the shed so I can do some maintenance on it. All in all, I think that's been a fairly productive day. We're going to have some eggs and some milk to sell soon, so we might be doing that in the near future. We've got some other bits and pieces. If we don't have anything else to do or anything else that I want to vlog in March, we might do the next one in April or even go forward to May. For now, though, we'll leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below. Follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.